Good morning, Kitty Poos. Welcome to a Monday morning. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Tony Kurre checking in with just a few minutes. I do every single day here on Facebook Live. And, of course, you can check out the Tony Kurre Radio app. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app. If everyone watching right now, just download the Tony Kurre Radio app. I would love you. Listen to it. It's great classic rock and roll. We have a full week of brand new shows. Starts with Dark Side of the Pooch going off today at noon and 8 on the Tony Kurre Radio app. It's all about the Rossbridge Animal Hospital's Dr. Rab Stewart. We're taking your email questions. Go to TonyKurreRadio.net. And you can leave your email questions, become a bonehead. We also have Live Wire Wednesday coming up on Wednesday. Adapter Parish. We'll replay that interview with Dusty Rivers, who is the IBM Lifetime Champion. We'll play that going on tomorrow. You have When in Rome with Stuart Rome coming up on Friday. We have the Damon Johnson Show. We have Blues Almighty. We have Tony Kurre Live. We have the Kurre and Claypo Show back on Thursday. You can check all those things out on Spotify. Go to Spotify and search Tony Kurre Radio and check out hundreds of different episodes. I want to wish Stevie Vai a 62nd birthday today. Stevie, of course, played with Frank Zappa early in his career, did a solo thing. He also was known to play with David Lee Roth, known as also one of the top 10 guitarists of all time. Happy birthday to Stevie Vai. Today's also Drive-In Movie Day. Have you ever been to a drive-in movie? I went one time, and this is all we had was drive-in movies up in Westchester, Ohio, when I was like 12, and I was with my brother and his date. It was one of those situations where no one could watch me, and so I got a chance to go on a date with my brother and his girlfriend, and I totally ruined it because I couldn't stop laughing. She was smoking hot, too. Her name was Sheila, and I had fun with them the entire time. But I think there's one out in Leeds. I think there's a Leeds drive-in. It's a bucket list thing, man. If you ever get a chance to go to just one drive-in in your life, do it. Also, today is Yo-Yo Day. Today is National Eyewear Day. And also today marks the 78th anniversary, of course, of our troops landing in Normandy on D-Day, 78 years ago today. Something happened over the weekend I think is really, really interesting. And again, I don't need to tell you about the cancel, the woke, all the things going on in this country. You're the one side or the other. No one's allowed to be down the middle anymore. And that goes with just anything, whether it's gun control, abortion, whatever. You either got to be this side or this side. Where I think most Americans would like to be somewhere down the middle. So the Tampa Bay Rays had their Rays Pride Night this past weekend on Saturday. It was something that Major League Baseball has enveloped and embraced over the last few years. I think this is like the 16th time that Tampa Bay did their Pride Night. And they had the rainbows, and here's the article. They did the rainbows, and people are celebrating the LGBTQ plus community, which is fine. It's great. This world is changing big time, right? And a lot of people, certainly of my age and maybe a little older, don't quite get it. They're kind of stuck in their ways. They don't want to understand it. And other people are kind of open like, hey, it's your lifestyle. You do whatever you want. So there were several players who did not want to put the insignia of the rainbow on their uniforms. And they're getting banged up for it. Reliever Jason Adam was one of those guys. And I thought what he said was really, really interesting. He said, so it's a hard decision why I decided not to, and he was one of about 6 or 7 guys to do this. It was a hard decision, he said, because ultimately we all said what we want is them to know that we are all welcome and loved here. But when it comes to putting it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decide that it's just a lifestyle and that maybe not they look down on anybody or look any different. It's just that maybe we don't want to encourage it because we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. Just like Jesus encourages me as a heterosexual male to abstain from sex outside the confines of marriage, it's no different. He said, it's not judgmental. I'm not looking down on them. It's just what I believe, and I believe in that lifestyle he's encouraged us to live for our good, not to be withholding. But again, we love these men and women. We care about them, and we want them to feel safe and welcome here. And I think a lot of people kind of feel the same way. I think we're open-minded to different things. Certainly, if you're Christian, you believe in one way, and it's never the sinner, it's the sin. And just by saying that, there's a lot of people going, oh, now you're saying it's a sin. You know, there's something about being tolerant of individuals. I want you to think just for a minute, how many people in your life you actually tolerate? Now, when I tolerate someone, they go, oh, so you're putting up with me. Yeah, I'm putting up with you. I'm putting up with your ideologies. I'm putting up with the things I don't like about you. We all tolerate people. Hell, most of us tolerate our husband or our wife to some extent. We love them, but there are some things that we have to tolerate, right? So toleration is a good thing. Doesn't mean that we don't like you. It doesn't mean that we put up with you. It just means that there's some things about you that, quite frankly, we tolerate because there's no one that's perfect, right? There's not. We all make mistakes. And so whenever I hear someone say, well, I tolerate that type of behavior, probably not the right words to use, but it could be necessarily a good thing. I have an extended family member, for example, who I love more than anything in the world. And this person's made a lot of mistakes, but I know they have a great heart. I've known them their entire life, and I love them. And when I see them over the holidays or when I get a chance to run into them, I will do everything I can. Would I throw a parade for this person? Probably not. There's a big difference between tolerating and loving somebody for who and what they are, knowing that they're human, and endorsing whatever type of ideology they're into. And this could be anything. It could be political, it could be their party, it could be guns, it could be anything. And so just because I don't fully 110% endorse somebody and everything they believe in doesn't mean that I don't love them. It doesn't mean I don't welcome them. It doesn't mean I don't pray for them. And I think a lot of people look at the LGBTQ plus community kind of the same way. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, quite frankly, it scares the hell out of us. Most people that are my age in their 50s, this is a new thing. It's not something that most of us have been into. It's probably existed while we were around, but we were never as open about it as we are now, which I think is a good thing. And I think a lot of people just feel a little bit uncomfortable about it because that's not the type of lifestyle that not only do we want to engage in, but a lifestyle that I don't think any of us even thought we'd ever think about engaging in. But if that's your thing, that's great. I've got lots of gay friends. I've got 2 transgender friends. I've got friends of mine who have been married for a long period of time. Two male friends of mine who have been married for over 30 years, and I love them. But according to my upbringings, the way I was brought up, it's not something through Jesus' eyes that's widely accepted. It doesn't mean I don't love you and I don't welcome you, but do I want to have an entire night dedicated to your lifestyle? I think a lot of people in this country go, you know what? I understand it. I'm trying to understand it. I love you, but this is not something that I fully want to endorse. So I think a lot of people in this country are kind of right down the middle. Sam Rushing, good morning to you. I think a lot of people down in this country are the same way. And unfortunately, when you don't wear the patch or you don't fully endorse something, then all of a sudden you're considered a hater or you're homophobic or you're transgender phobic or whatever phobic you want to put on there. All of a sudden you're a hater or you don't understand how life changes and blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. I think a lot of us are very accepting and tolerant to an extent of all the things that have changed. And listen, the last 20 years, man, this country has been crazy. I mean, we're wide open, brother. It's getting after it. Speaking of wide open, check out the Tony Kurre Radio app and you'll love it. I do want to say one final word today. I'm going to try not to get emotional here, so I'm going to rip through it. My youngest son turns 15 today. His name's Xavier. Anyone who knows my son and knows of my family, he's a special needs son. One of the most amazing individuals that God ever placed in my life and placed on this earth. There are mornings, man, where you wake up and you just, it's like you've gone to the mountaintop and you're asking what the meaning of life is. And I ask God every morning to allow me to think outside myself and be challenged by all my other challenges. Help me through those challenges so that I may understand what your will is and live under your will. And if you can get outside yourself and help others, then you find out what life's really about. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll say to God, what's my purpose today? Give me a purpose. What's my purpose of being here on this earth? And sometimes it's a hard question to answer. You're going through the motions, you're providing for your family, you're living, you're working, you're doing things, you're making phone calls, you're doing all those, and that's great. But sometimes it gets bigger than that. And I actually thought for a long period of time, and to an extent I still do, that my purpose here on earth was to look after my family. And particularly my son. And I really thought God put me on this earth to look after him, to be the best father I could possibly be to him. And I'm not perfect. I have certainly made mistakes, and I have screwed up over and over and over again. But we are two peas in a pod. He's just all three of my kids are incredible. Lila, Santo, and Xavier. Xavier is just an amazing individual in that fact that he, through his special needs, just looks at life in a totally different light. He never makes a straight line between A and B, and that's what makes it so fun and it's so amazing. And while I thought for a long period of time that God put me on this earth to look after him, I'm now believing that he was put on this earth to look after me. And he's an amazing kid, and he turns 15 today. And I want to wish Xavier a very, very happy birthday. I don't know what I'd be in my life without him. He's just an amazing, amazing kid. Anyone who's met him knows him. And God bless you, son. You're awesome, and I hope you enjoy your wonderful day, and I hope you have an incredible birthday, and I love you, man. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for watching this morning. We'll get back after it tomorrow morning. Don't forget the Curry and Claypo Show. Dr. Josh, fresh off vacation, will be back coming up on Thursday. And today's the Dark Side of Pooch Monday. So make sure you check out the Tony Kurre Radio app. Download the Tony Kurre Radio app through Android, Apple. It takes you about 5 seconds. It's free. Check it out. If you don't like it, get rid of it. That's fine. I just want you to listen to it. It's classic rock to the bone. It's 24 hours a day of classic rock, and we have 10, 11 different shows. We have a brand new show with Kiefer coming up soon that we're looking forward to called Wanna Bet, and he wants to do his own show. And also, speaking of shows, failed to mention, check out Workplay and Workplay.com. Tommy Williams, a good friend of mine, has opened his doors. They had a great show this past Saturday night, but they've got just a plethora of wonderful shows coming up in June at Workplay and Workplay.com, so check that out. Have a blessed day, and thanks for watching. I love you.